Hello everyone, and thank you again for joining my channel, Out of the Psychopathic Forest, or for the Japanese viewers, Psychopath no Mori no Soto de. My name is Joshua. I'm living in Sendai in North Japan, and I appreciate you taking the time yet again to watch one of my videos. Today's topic is that the narcissist or the psychopathic malignant narcissist will never ever help you. Never. There will be no help for you from them. One thing that I came to understand in time was that in fact she was a parasite. She was leeching off of me, living off of me, contributing nothing at all. Even the very minimum of help she wouldn't do. I'll give you some examples and see if you relate to these. Let's start with the simple task of housework. Not one time did I ever see her dust. She never dusted. My apartment is full of wooden antique furniture, and essentially the dust would accumulate and it was very easy to see, and never one time did she attempt to remove it. Strangely enough, she said that she had a very severe dust allergy. I don't believe that at all. But the truth is that there was never any dusting to do. Any of the housework that had to be done, I had to do. Otherwise, it would just accumulate. That is a very small example. I'd like to get into bigger examples. In 2019, I helped to start two businesses. That was basically at the same time, around January, February of 2019. In December of 2019, one of the businesses hit a little bit of a snag, and so I was going to have to go without salary for one month, so essentially 2 months. And I sent a message to her expressing that thought and my concerns. I was worried, I was a little bit nervous, I did not ask for help, but I did write that message to her. Her response to me was, "Ganbatte ne." Ganbatte ne in Japanese means good luck or hope it works out for you. Absolutely unbelievable to me. Luckily, I had friends who really cared. One friend who was not doing financially well at the time suddenly showed up and gave me 5,000 yen, which at the time was like a $50 equivalent. Thanks to that, I was able to go on. Just that $50 contribution went so far. And I realized the distinction between people who really care for you and the parasitic, malignant, psychopathic narcissist. Another example is, I live in Sendai, Japan, and as many of you may know, North Japan, we have a lot of earthquakes. Of course, in 2011 we had a very big earthquake. But in February of last year, we had a magnitude 7 earthquake. And essentially at the office, everything came down. Everything. It was going to be like a 4 or 5 hour cleanup job. And this was around midnight. And we needed to do business the next day. When that earthquake occurred, I was in the living room and the narcissist was in the shower. I immediately ran in to stabilize her because she's in the shower. It's not a safe place to be during an earthquake of that magnitude. And once the earthquake subsided, then I said, we need to contact your parents. We need to contact your parents because they live right on the seaside, and if there's a tsunami, they may be in danger. So I'll give them a call as quickly as possible and make sure that they're okay. She refused. She kind of smirked and said, I'll do it, 20 minutes later, she took her time, just drying off, and then she came in and she called her parents. Afterwards, I needed to go to my workplace to look at the damage, and it was really damaged. She never once, not one time, even hinted at helping. In fact, it was raining that evening, I remember very clearly, and she didn't even offer to drive me to the office. This is an earthquake situation, a very big one, a dangerous one. And even in times of this kind of potential life and death situation, they will not lift a finger. The absence of humanity is mind-boggling, truly. It's just, you can't even begin to understand where this person is coming from. The immaturity and the sense of entitlement, like, I don't need to help anyone. It was very angering. I'll give you another example. Her mother and father retired about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. They announced this while the psychopath and I were at her parents' home after dinner. And I thought about it a little, and I thought, you know what, things are okay right now for me. Why don't you let me throw you a retirement party? You know, that would be my treat. I'll throw you a retirement party. We'll stay at an onsen, which is a Japanese hot spa and sauna. And that was my promise to them. And I kept my promise. However, I'm not very good at navigating Japanese websites for making reservations because, number one, they're in Japanese, and number two, there are often a lot of intricate details. So I asked my partner if she wouldn't mind making the reservations. Now, after all, these are her family members. This is her mother, her father. I'm willing to pay the total expense for this. All I asked for was that she make the reservations. She refused. She refused to make the reservations for her own mother and father. So who made the reservations? Another Japanese friend who doesn't know these people at all. So I wrote to the mother and father and said, luckily we have reservations. This friend made them for us. If you get a chance, please say thank you to her. How is it that they didn't understand that their daughter is not even willing to make a simple reservation for their retirement party? Didn't happen. And she felt nothing about it. Nothing. Speaking of Christmas, I'm a big fan of Christmas. I love the holiday. I love throwing a Christmas party. I used to do that every December to bring together friends from all around Sendai, some Japanese, some Westerners, and we'd have 10, 15 people here. The Christmas parties were always a disaster on her end because number one, she refused to help at all. Number two, she would say, don't touch any of my food. And number three, the morning of the party, she would say, I didn't take a day off work, I'm leaving. I don't know what time I'll be back. By this time I was just thinking, okay, actually the party will be better without her. And then she comes 3 hours late to the party, and even though she lived here, she rang the doorbell so that someone would get up and let her into her own apartment. She would come in, she sat down, she did nothing, she contributed nothing. These people will not help you. Now, I will make one exception for this. They will help you if they're getting attention for it. They will help you if they get attention for helping you. The other situation that they might help you is that they've abused you and you've reached a breaking point. then suddenly they're showering you with gifts. But essentially, by and large, they will not help you at all. The cupboard you see behind me there at the back wall. I mentioned before in a previous video that she and I had agreed to go half and half to pay for some kind of cupboard. Total agreement, very clear. We drove 50 kilometers to the location to buy that cupboard. It cost about $3,000. And as I mentioned in a previous video, when we got to the clerk to pay, she had no money. She wasn't willing to help, and she made an excuse for this. And in fact, I'd like to share this with you. So the following day, just to show you how childish this person is, the following day on my desk I received this picture. And as you can see at the top, it says, "Still green, gomenne." Gomenne means sorry, but not even in a polite way. It's just like, sorry. Still green. I don't know how I was to interpret that. I interpreted it as her saying, I still don't understand how to live as an adult. It's quite easy. When you make a promise, especially a financial promise, you keep your promise. And then on the back side, she wrote, "Dear Joshua, last Sunday, I'm sorry that I didn't prepare money, even though I promised I'd pay half for the furniture. I was very sad when you said I don't spend money for us. From today, I want to discuss our money for the future. From Mariko." This was a letter she wrote. That conversation never happened. In fact, the financial situation got worse. Worse and worse. It never got better at all. It bled me dry. The psychopathic narcissist is a parasite. In public, they wear another mask entirely. But I look forward to the day when society wakes up and realizes that the people who are parasites in private, that they become pariahs in public. I look forward to that day. You probably have had these experiences that they don't lift a hand to help. Get a piece of paper out and write all of the things that you've done for the relationship. Then look on the other side. What have they done for the relationship? It's going to be a one-sided piece of paper. You're not going to be able to write anything on their side because they will not help you. Get rid of them. Help yourself. Throw them away. Get them out of your life. Focus on you. And take care of yourself. Thank you very much.